דברים, תשפ"ד. Always the parsha that's before Tisha B'Av. Not going to speak about Tisha B'Av here. We spoke about last week. We spoke a lot about Shalom Shabbos. And just for the quick mention, despite the fact that Tisha B'Av was on the Yud, this is when started burning the Ikar, the Beis HaMikdash. We do the test. As we learned last week, Yud Zayin, the first time is Yud Zayin Tammuz, Gematria Tov. The second one is the letter Teis, and we know that he has, this is the Olam Haba. It's only a period to work, not a period to be be'atzvos. It's not a period to be sad, in terms of broken down. That's exactly what the Nachash was. So we just need to lower the simcha. It doesn't mean we have to annihilate, exterminate the simcha. No, because that's the work of the Nachash. Anyway, let's get into the psukim right away. I want to speak about the bracha of Moshe Rabbeinu, what it teaches us. Not so many psukim about it, but it's interesting that it was written in such a length when it could have been written in 2 psukim. And I told you, at that time saying, I can't be medactic on everything. Otherwise, I'll be here for an hour and a half asking questions. You understand for yourself that the language has been already dramatic here. I cannot alone carry your weight. Carry you anymore. Very interesting. There were 601,000 when they came out of Mitzrayim. You had no problem with Paro. You had no problem with Chris Yamsuf. You had no problem with the money. You had no problem for the slop. Like Rashi says, now all of a sudden, there are 601,000 right now. You cannot carry them anymore, right? What happened? Hashem Elohekechem, hereby Eschem, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, made you plenty, more numerous. Right? What did we just say? There were 601,000 and there's 601,000. So what is he telling them? Hashem Elohekechem. I'm not going to answer that question only on Shabbos, but tonight, no, I'm not going to go into this. Do you remember this language? Does it ring the bell somewhere in the Haggadah that the Rashi says Hashem Elohekechem? And because of that, oh, we broke his teeth. But Moshe Rabbeinu himself says Hashem Elohekechem. But no Pirush has any question about this. It's the same language as the Rashi. And so you can think till Shabbos to give me an answer if you want. V'hinchem hayoim, and today you are kechotvei hashamayim laroim. As numerous as the stars in the sky. You know your stars that are on earth? Right? You see them, right? What it means, kechochvei hashamayim, the stars of the sky. If there were other places where you can find stars, I would agree we needed the precision. But kechochvim, kechavim, or I don't know what, but hashamayim? As if there was other places with stars. And Larov means so much more. So Hirba and Larov come from the same root. And we both know that these two are wrong because we saw at the end of Matthias, they're exactly the same number, almost into the hundreds, as when they came out of Mitzrayim. Then Moshe Rabbeinu goes back at it and he changes his language. Hashem Eloheke Avoisechem. Now it's not Eloikechem, it's Eloike Avoisechem. But still, he's not Elokeinu. You realize that Avoisechem is missing the Yud. Yosef, look at Yosef. It's missing the Vav. Yud, Vav, one after another. You remember when Yaakov was born, he held Ba'akev Esau, the heel of Esau. What did he take? The Yud. They were fighting about Yud Vav. What does he come to tell us? Because they come right, if they were in the pasuk separated, I would have given another shot. But here they come right one after another. Those who came on the shir on Wednesday, on Monday night, know that Yud Vav is also the Gilgul. Well, but we're not going to go there. Just, probably not even going to have time to answer that today. It's going to have to be on Shabbos. So, but Aleichem, the Yud comes back. Kachem 1000 pe'amim, 1,000 times. Not 999, not 1,001. 1,000. What's the magical number? What's the magical explanation behind 1,000? Vivarech eschem, and he will bless you, ka'asher diber lachem, as he told you. That's enough for us tonight. There's no need to go any further. On Shabbos we go maybe the next pasuk. I won't have time to go. Daria Kodesh tells us that the Kodesh Baruch Hu, Moshe Rabbeinu, Sefer Devarim, supposedly is Moshe Rabbeinu. Right? And Moshe Rabbeinu tells us something seemingly from his own. But the Ariya Kodesh says, no, I'm going to show you something here. Right here, we finished here. He shows us, just in case I need the psukim afterward, I'll keep them. We have, it's Sefer Mishneh Torah. That's how it's called, Sefer Devarim, Sefer Mishneh Torah. This equals 1,346. Equals Kel Shakai, like this, and also in full. Aleph, Shin, Lamed, Shin, Dalet, Yud. And why is Moshe saying it? Because Moshe equals 345. Equals Kel Shakai. But at the end of the day, we see that, yes, Moshe is the mouthpiece, he's going to say, but Sefer Devarim was said, Mipi Gvura. And how is Moshe saying a lie? Because he's saying that he cannot carry anymore the weight of the Bnei Yisrael. What do you mean you cannot carry the weight of the Bnei Yisrael? They're not any different than the one you took out of Egypt. And we have a pasuk telling us in V'zos HaBracha that Moshe Rabbeinu lo yechahasa'enu, his eyes inflamed, he didn't get old, Moshe Rabbeinu. And the fact is, when HaKadosh Baruch Hu told him to go to Mount Nevo to leave this world, there were 12 huge steps. Moshe Rabbeinu in one jumped them all up. He's 120 years old. Time had no effect on his body. So why would he come and complain to the Bnei Yisrael about their weight? exact same weight. There's nothing that has changed. Here, the parsha, the direction we're going to take is we're going to explain the reason why. You're going to see here, if we pay attention, Moshe Rabbeinu is going to bless the Bnei Yisrael. Hashem Elohekechem hirba eschem. Vehinchem hayoim kichot ve'ashamayim lo'roi. And then he goes back at it. So Rashi explains, B'Shem Deciphering, that the Bnei Yisrael complained. Why do you give us such a bracha only, but we have HaKadosh Baruch Hu promised us already to be 1,000 times? So Moshe Rabbeinu said, okay, that was my bracha, Zumi Sheli, and if you want the bracha from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I'm going to give you the bracha of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's how Rashi understands. Again, Rashi explained the fact that because if he was only one bracha from Moshe Rabbeinu, it should have been in the same passage. The fact is, in two psukim tells me that something happened in between. And what happened in between, like the Sifri reveals, that they complained about this bracha of Moshe Rabbeinu. We'll see on Shabbos, they have not understood the first thing about the bracha. What was Moshe Rabbeinu trying to do? I'm going to go into it today. I'm going to explain you this because it's too important. And now he's going back to this. However, the Zohar has completely a different approach, and he wants to teach something in Derech Eretz, very fundamental. When you give a bracha to a friend, sometimes you're kind of forced to say it. You don't really mean it, so it's not a bracha. On the exactly like your words and your inner person are not in agreement about the bracha, the same way the bracha looks only in chitzonius, but inside it's not a bracha. But when you do both in communion, you're inside, you really mean to give him a bracha, you have to watch out. Why? Because now you trigger, because when a man opens his mouth down below, remember, he also triggers that the peh ha'elyon, the upper mouth, also start saying and blessing that person. Right away, the chitzayim say, whoa, what do you want to give him a bracha to this guy? He's not that good. He's not really thing. What do you trigger? Ein hara. What do you trigger? Kitrug. Therefore, Moshe Rabbeinu had to go a second time at it because he has to be a bracha and hoidah. When, like, because we have azan esakoid noidelech. So when we give a bracha, we always have to give a hoidah. We have to go back at it right after and confirm the bracha, and this removes the ayin hara that was triggered with the bracha. You see Yishtabach. You know, I don't have more examples in my head, but I'm sure Baruch Amar, you know, we have it always brachas vehoidos leshimcha gadol limoidim in. So when we say brachas vehoidos, is we give the bracha and at the same time. So I don't get it. Why do we have to say to HaKadosh Baruch Hu also? Is it possible that Chaz v'Shalom, you know, there's going to be kitrug on HaKadosh Baruch Hu? No. So we have to give by HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we have to give bracha v'hoidah. Says the Zohar HaKadosh that the first one to get hurt by this ayin hara is the person who blessed. because he triggered Ayin Hara. It's like calling the deen on someone. Whoa, I meant from the goodness of my heart to give a bracha to someone, and in reward, I'm going to get this. Yes, because you don't know how to give a bracha. You only triggered the Ayin Hara. So the way to give a bracha is to say the bracha and to confirm it with words of bracha also, repeating the bracha. And with that, you first to get the bracha before him, because you blessed him, before him, you're going to get the bracha. Okay, so that's a concept that the Zohar wants to give, and he says this is what Moshe Rabbeinu repeated twice. Repeated twice the bracha. But again, Rashi learned that no, because they complained about the first bracha, therefore we had to give, therefore Moshe Rabbeinu had to add another bracha. Seemingly Rashi is totally choilek on the pshat of the Zohar. Here explains totally differently. I'm not going to go make Ian on the words of Rashi, even though I did it, but Rashi ends up his words with something we can let go. It's this. We can't pass on this. Rashi says, Vehinchem hayoim, and you are today. Rashi says, it's not what it seems. These next few words, Vehinchem hayoim means Vehinchem hayoim. You have the midah today. You raised your level. You came from Mitzrayim in Memte Sharei Tuma. Today you are in Memte Sharei Dusha. So now you have reached the midah of Yoim, is the midah of HaKadosh Baruch, the midah of Kucha Berich. And he says also that Kachama, and the same way the sun, the moon, and the stars are forever, you also forever. Interesting. We all know that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, it says in the Pasuk, Yeshaya, that it's got to be a Eretz Chadasha, B'Shamayim Chadashim, a new sky. The sun will not be the same, and the moon neither. It's got to change. Interesting what Rashi, why did he have to twist the language? What bothered Rashi in here that he has, so he doesn't explain like the Zohar, but he has to twist the words, which usually Rashi explains the pashtus of the pasuk. Here he is not. He's saying Vehinchem kayoim, and we all know that yoim is kucha berich. Yoim is a tiferes. It's the mid of Yaakov, it's the mid of Moshe. Who told you? What difficulty did you have in the teaching of the pasuk that you had to go all the way there? And here it says, Kechochvei hashamayim. What stressed you in these words that you have to add me chama, levana, and explain that we're not talking about numbers. We're talking about greatness. We're talking about everlasting. I don't know, Rashi, because if you look at the pasuk at the beginning, herba means ribui, numbers. How can you just jump on the next few words and explain me greatness? And the pasuk ends up with numbers. But you decided in the middle to go out of the tracks and explain me that they have reached the midah of Kucha Berichu, and they're going to be therefore forever Kayam, alive, meaning not them, but the Bnei Yisrael. Understandable. Truly, it's mind-blowing for Rashi. Usually when Rashi goes like this, you have the Mizrahi was the one who answers all the questions on Rashi. All the questions. He came to defend Rashi on every, so the Mizrahi, his peer, which is only on Rashi, whenever there's a question on Rashi or the Lashon is not, and instead of explaining the words of Rashi, he goes, add a layer of difficulty. He says that what it means, vehinchem hayoim, and you are today, it means you will be the same way you are existing today, you will be existing forever like the sun, the moon, and the stars. Oh, but he realized one of the questions that we asked. Larov talks about numbers. And he says, Larov means loirov, but not about numbers. I'm not giving you a bracha about number. Wow. He really added, nothing of this apparently is written in the pasuk. Nothing of it. So what triggered you here? What's in this simple bracha? What problem do you have? I understand the question because the fundamental question, it's enough of the question. Here, Ba'eschem, you are more numerous, you're more in numbers, but you are not. The truth is you are not. So why did Moshe Rabbeinu say that here, Ba'eschem? Okay, I understand that question, I accept it. But Rashi, you added me kind of a few layers of difficulties here. What's the side in this passage? What is Moshe Rabbeinu trying to tell the Bnei Yisrael that he's giving them? What is he trying to hint? Because obviously the words are not exactly, we can't translate them. So obviously there's a remez in there. Rashi, the Moshe Rabbeinu came to hint now, even though it's not my habit to go like this in Shurim, but I would like, in order to give it to present it in a better way, I would like to add a question on the Zohar. The Gemara says in Nedarim, on the pasuk in Mishle, Toiv ayin yevoira. Someone who has a good eye, he should bless. The Gemara says ze Moshe. But why it says that his mother saw that he was toiv already. So Moshe Rabbeinu. So you see that Moshe Rabbeinu, he is ayin toiv. He is not ayin ra. So why would he have, according to the Zohar, to confirm his blessing? He cannot trigger ayin hara. Remind me by the end of this year, I'll give you a side of Rabuna that brought down in Dari this week in Rabbeinu Shimshon. That's his yahrzeit today. Shimshon Mostropoli in Dan Yadin gives that skula to remove Ayin Hara. Since it's not in the shir, I'm sure I may not remember, but if you remind me, I'll give it to you. So since Moshe Rabbeinu cannot be Me'or Kitrug, since Moshe Rabbeinu cannot bring on him a Kitrug, he had no chet. So why did he have to confirm again his bracha? I just want to show that pasuk has something in it. The Zohar came through one angle, and it's hard. Because why would Moshe Rabbeinu try to confirm his bracha? Because he's a tev ayin. So don't learn from this that all the bad ayin has to confirm his bracha, but that's not the case. Moshe Rabbeinu is a tev ayin, and despite that, somehow he repeated his bracha. And if you want to consider it as a one bracha, you should have said in one pasuk. Why two psukim? It seems on one hand half like Rashi, but on the other half it seems like the Zohar, had correctly explained the pasuk. But there's a difficulty on both sides. So we have to understand what is the side of this bracha that Moshe Rabbeinu is giving the Bnei Yisrael. It's huge. You're going to see it's huge. They missed it. They didn't understand it. Rabbi Bachye comes with a third approach about explaining the bracha of Moshe Rabbeinu. He says, we're not talking about numbers. We're not talking about greatness. We're talking about encampment. The same way that the stars are surrounding the Shekhinah and the Kisei HaKavod is in the middle, the same way the Bnei Yisrael have been zoiche to the Degalim, and Venosa Oyhel Moyed, the Oyhel Moyed was right in the center of them. That's an interesting approach. Is he going to explain all the words of the pasuk? No, we still have Hashem Elohekechem here ba'eschem. What's here ba? So no matter who we're going to take, we cannot get a full explanation on the entire pasuk. But it's a very interesting approach that we have the mazalis. Remember the 13th mazal? Today. That's today. We have the 12 zodiac signs, one for each month. And remember we said Yerushalayim equals 13 times Mazel is on top of all of them. So now HaKadosh Baruch Hu is saying that the 12 Mazalis, the Koch ve'Hashamayim that rule this world, basically, that everything under them is under the auspices, but you have one on top, and they surround. HaKadosh Baruch Hu in Bnei Yisrael is exactly the same way. The Bnei Yisrael are all surrounding the Machne Kedusha. They were zoiche to be like Malachim. Rechav Elohim Riboisayim. Your encampment is exactly the one, exactly looking like the one of the Malachim around the Shekhinah. And here he calls them Koch ve'Hashamayim. Okay, it's an interesting concept, because now I understand. Yes, there was an extra word. I could not understand according to the Zohar and according to Rashi, but I do understand it according to Rabbi Bachye. And now I can explain one of the difficult words that I had here. I can explain it. Because what it says here, Laroy, I'm sure you guys are jumping already. For those who follow share, they know it. Laroy equal to 32. It's equal to Rolab. It's the same, actually. For those who don't know, these these four names equals to 32. all the names, he attached them to all the names of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. All the Shefa in this world depend on this. If we can have this, now you understand, according to this, the Hinchem Hayom, Midah of Yom of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he wanted to attach them to that Midah, so they deserve to have all the forename Ab, Sag, Ma, Ben. All the forename which corresponds to the 4 letters and create one unit. And then when they united, the name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu automatically start pouring bracha and shef. So Rav Nubachye kind of came with a different approach. Seems to work. The only thing that he doesn't explain is this word. This word has no place here. Because this word tells me that Lara means also maybe this and not 232. I don't know. It's a very big question of Nubachye. But he keeps on talking, Rav Nubachye start explaining with the Midrash. And he goes back to the source of this bracha, to the maker of this bracha. Where was the maker of this bracha? Is HaKadosh Baruch Hu told Avraham Avinu. And we have, in order to understand the bracha of Moshe Rabbeinu, then we have to go back to the source and understand the words of HaKadosh Baruch Hu to Avraham, and then we will understand what's going on also in our bracha. So here, HaKadosh Baruch Hu told Avraham, Habetna Hashamayim, look at the sky. Not Hashamayim. Hashamayim Ma. There's always a reason why we're adding the hey. We'll see. Usper HaKechavim. Count. You see here it says Kechavim, not Hashamayim. So there is a concept. We were right to ask, what is Kechavim Hashamayim? And count the stars. Im tucha lispar oisam, if you can count them. Vayomer he told him, Koi yihye zarecha. So much will be your descent. No Yud here, okay. Says the Midrash that this bracha that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave that this HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave to Avram, it's not a bracha about greatness, it's a bracha about number. That they're gonna be a lot that we'll be able to count. So says the Midrash, then why did we add again Ko Yezarecha? You already what is Ko Yezarecha? Says the Midrash that not only in numbers they gotta be great, but also in chachma. Wow. So the bracha of HaKadosh Baruch Hu includes 2 things. Greatness and number. That's what we see. If we go directly, without each one of you can figure out the questions on that passage. Tells him, look, please look at the sky. Just could have told him Svara Kechavim, because there's no Kechavim on earth. So when you say to someone, count the stars, he knows right away to look up and look at the sky. So there are the shyness of uspora koichavim, and count the koichavim. And then he add him into chalispor, if you can count them. No, everybody knows you cannot count them. He could have said, urea koichavim, and look at the koichavim, ko yezarecha. This whole thing, this whole pasuk doesn't stand on 2 feet. If we look here a little bit deeper, we see that on the bracha of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we have the Gematria of Habetna Shomaima is 467. 467 is Yud K Vav K, Yechud Chochma and Bina, Yud K Ye, in simple. And we have the Yechud in full of Kasa, Ma, Ha. In other words, okay, for just again, the terms we use here, this is the Shem Av. Yud, Hey, Vav, with the Yud. You see, it's Hey is with the Yud. And the Ma is here. Yud, Hey, you see, instead of a Yud, there's an Aleph. Instead of a Yud, there's an Aleph. Instead of a Yud, there's an Aleph. And Kasa is this one. It's Aleph, Hey, with the Yudin, Yud, Hey. And if you look on the next one, it's called Kamar. Aleph instead of a Yud, an Aleph, Yud, instead of a Yud, an Aleph. So the Yudin and the Alphin in the name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, so that's what we say here. You know, I could have written just this. Yud, Hey, Vav, Hey, Aleph, Hey, Yud, Hey. And Yud, Hey, Vav, Hey, Aleph, Hey, Yud, Hey. You have it all here. That's not Habetna Hashomaima. Shomayim is a Tiferes. Hey is the Malchus. When you put them together, automatically HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells us there's a Yichud, Elyon, and then the Shemes of the Chochmah and the Bina get together and they start pulling. So that's why we added those words in the pasuk. HaKadosh Baruch Hu revealed that secret to Avraham Avinu. Uspor hakoichavim. Just want to add something here. If you take the words Kodesh Lashem, it's equal. 467. Let me explain you something here. Because many times you're going to see in the Torah these words. When we say Kodesh Lashem, it means that's the utmost importance. What's the importance? The importance is to always make a yichud between Kudsha Bericha and the Shechina. When a person does a chet chas v'shalom, automatically he triggers that HaKadosh Baruch Hu stays away from the Shechina because now the Shechina has a pgam. But once he makes tshuva, and once he come back on it, we'll see on the Shabbos B'ez Hashem, automatically at that point he puts back HaKadosh Baruch Hu with the Shechina. And there's no other purpose for a Jew in these in his lifetime. All he has to accomplish, it's not how much you know, it's not how much, how big you are, how many blood of Gemara you know, or how many blood of Shulchan Aruch you know, or how many blood of Zohar you know. It's got nothing to do with all these. All these are only a bridge, an intermediary, how to create a yichud. That's why we learn Torah, because Torah is to make a yichud between Torah shebichtav and Torah shebe'al peh. Because every time I'm explaining Torah, I'm taking Torah shebichtav and I make it Torah shebe'al peh. So the two together, hashamayma, they come together, kudsha berich v'shchinte, and that's the importance. But if the person is ill intention, he only does this for self-serving purposes, his chet has no boundary. He'll never be able to fathom, what would be his image, myself. Everything we have to do in this world is kodesh l'Hashem, to make the Shechina and Kudsha Barichu together. Therefore, in these times that we are in Bein HaMetzarim, I get that question so many times. Can I have a shower on on the 9 days? Well, if you know your halachas in Erechaim, if you have milmule ziyah, you're not allowed to say a bracha. So I say, I don't know what you want to do. You have here a mitzvah d'oraisa to put on tefillin, but you're not allowed to put on tefillin if you have, especially in weather like this. So, we lower the simcha. It doesn't mean we take away the simcha. It doesn't mean we do. This is mandatory to get clean. I mean, can you believe this? You have 5 guys that go, they don't take a shower. They go to Publix, everybody runs out. Even the skunks, they say, oh my gosh, that's too much for us. It's also to put on tefillin. It's also to say bracha. Someone has, how can we not represent the killing of the malchus? So, okay. So what we have to do is, if you like hot showers, very hot, so you lower a little bit, you take a little bit of your comfort, and you're only staying under the water to clean yourself, but not the thing. Oh yeah, but me, if I don't have the shower for 2 minutes on my head, I don't wake up. Then have it. You're not doing this for simcha, for a thing. Then have it. We got to be normal. We're not Hezbollahs. We're not Arabs. We have everything in halach. Anyway, let's go back here to our place. Usfer hakechavim. With the koil equals full 55. Some guys, I don't even have to say what it is. It's kasa, kamag, kana. Aleph, hey, yud, hey. Aleph, hey, yud, hey, and plus. Now, if we write them again with the hey instead of the aleph, hey instead of the aleph, it becomes, sorry, I made a mistake, 151. So we have the name of Keye in 161 when we put yud in. It becomes 143. This is a dime. It becomes 143 when we put the aleph, and becomes 151 if instead of the aleph, the K, we put the haze. In other words, I don't want to lose people on something so simple. This is 151 kana. Aleph, hey, yud, hey, you see? Kamag, aleph, hey, yud, hey, aleph, kasa, aleph, hey, yud vav aleph, hey, yud. Okay? Most of you have the page with the shares. So now, Moshe Rabbeinu is saying something that he wants to give them a power to the Bina. Because all these shemes are in the Bina. Moshe Rabbeinu here is not just giving them words. He's giving them a yichud, how to get shefa, power of the Bina. And we know when the Bina comes spread, which is the big eagle, when it spreads its wings, nobody can touch what's in the nest. They're all afraid. All the birds are afraid. And so all the sarim of the Umoy Sa'ilam, when the Bina comes down, they all run away. So here also, if you have the Bina with you, so they're all going to be running away. Moshe Rabbeinu, before he leaves, remember, Pashas Devarim was said 36 days before the passing of Moshe Rabbeinu. So it's he's living his last days, and he's rushing and wants to give them as much as possible. And he tells him, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Ko yehyeh zarecha. Now, Ko yehyeh zarecha equals 352. If you write Torah in full, Tav, Reish, no, Vav, Reish, Hey. That's Torah, okay? Now we have Bina. We know the Bina is the Olam HaTorah. So it goes along. I'll explain this. Now you only take the inside. You want to know what's in the Torah. $352. Bnei Yisrael. This is the side of Kucha Berichu, Torah, and Bnei Yisrael Chad. They want. All this. And he told him, Koi, we know the side of Koi. We know that Koi, the Zohar explains it. Koi equals 25, right? But Koi is always the Shekhinah. Why? Because if we take, okay, Yud Ke Vav Ke, this is the last one, is the Shekhinah. So we have one Hey, two Hey, three Hey. Sorry. One Hey in simple Yud Ke Vav Ke. Here, there's a different Hey, it's written Hey Yud. It's the same here. Here it's Hey Yud, we're not counting it. So we have two sorts of Hey. Now, third variety is Hey Aleph. 3. And now we have 4, which is double. So we have 2 Heys now. 4, 5. 5 times Hey. So it means the Shekhinah here, 5 times Hey equals Koi. And that's what we have to do. Take the Shekhinah and always, that's our mission. Whenever we want to do something, we have to think about what going to be the consequence to the Shekhinah. We do something in Shabbos. We do something in Shul. We want to talk. We want to joke. We want to. Every time a Jew has to have conscience. We only lost the Beis HaMikdash only because what is the Beis HaMikdash? The place of the Shekhinah. The Shekhinah is gone. 2 years before the Chorban, the Shekhinah had gone out already of the Beis HaMikdash. So they knew he was coming. Everybody knew. If the Shekhinah is not there, a house is just stones and woods. It has no life and can be destroyed. The Midrash Rabbah here brings psukim that Shamayim has a measurement. Water has a measurement and a weight, and so forth. Mountains, valleys, everything. Besides one thing in this world that doesn't have a measure. It's Bnei Yisrael. And says the Midrash something very, very mind-boggling. That Moshe Rabbeinu that loved Bnei Yisrael compared them to stars. Bilam Rasha that hated the Jews compared them to dust. Hosea the Navi, who neither liked them or didn't like them, compared them to the sand of the ocean on the beach. That's what he says. Interesting language. Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu told Avraham Avinu, "V'haya zaracha ka'afar haaretz." HaKadosh Baruch Hu used that language. What is the Midrash telling us here? That we have three examples. So Bnei Yisrael, the truth is, we understand koichavim now that we explain what we explain, is their greatness. They're prone to greatness. Now it's you to express it. It's you to use it. You know what to do by now. You know that you have to have in mind all the time the Shekhinah. Because once you add your das to an action, right away it goes to, it's like sending an envelope to the post office and not put the recipient's address. It's never going to get there. But if you put the recipient's address, it's going to get there. So once you put your das and you do something to the Shekhinah, you know, automatically it's going to go there and it's going to do, it's going to have its effect. Koichavim is the faculty of Bnei Yisrael to greatness. Now we see great doctors, Jews, and they have great scientists, and they got this prize and this prize. A Bnei Yisrael, it's an inherent quality that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us. We are prone to greatness. Now, use it the right way or the wrong way is our choice. But every Jew can be great, and every Jew is great. They may not do everything, you know, at every time the right way, but there is greatness and there's a lot of goodness in every Jew. On the second hand, Abraham himself told HaKadosh Baruch Hu, "V'anochi Afar." Afar is when the second midah that Bnei Yisrael need. Afar is anov. Afar means, you know, HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave me great powers. It doesn't mean because of this, I'm going to become holy and I'm going to become a bully. No, I'm going to become with anova. Anova equals 131, exactly like Samael. That's the only way to beat the Yetzer Hara is through anava, afar. And the third one is Chaylayam. The Midrash says in Bereshis that the waters, that chutzpah, they had asses. Interesting. Water coming from the chesed, they had asses. But the Baruch Hu told them back off and go in the oceans and stay there. They were not happy about it. They wanted to take over the world. They want to recover the world again. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, I'm going to teach you a lesson. I'm going to bring the sand over there. So when they look at the sand, the waters had fun. Yeah, we're so powerful, you know, this sand will wash it off like it never existed, you know, with one wave. One big wave and it's washed out. So the Sar of the sand, the Malach of the sand, hold on, look. Each one of us is not powerful. We are very weak. But once we get together, nobody can against us. So let's live together, Beshalom, and promise each other that we're not going to fight no matter what. and then even the waters won't be able against us. So at that point, they're all unified. And when the water saw that, it feared. And it told itself, look what the Achdus is doing. Choil Hayam comes to point us to the Achdus of the Bnei Yisrael. The Bnei Yisrael that live Bepirud cannot, they don't try to coexist and so forth. They have no kiyum. They cannot remain alive. We're being attacked all the time. Why? Because we are not together. And that's the side in that. And the pele about this, if you think I'm only giving you a drasha, I'm going to prove it to you. We have koichavim that Moshe said. We have choil that Hoshea said. We have Afa that I'm not going to remember. HaKadosh Baruch Hu said equals 496 equals Malchus. You want to know what to do for the Malchus? These are the 3 Midas every Bnei Yisrael should have. Without this, we are not completing the Malchus. The only way to complete the Malchus, the basics to reach there. Oh, now, yes, I learned Torah so I can pass the Malchus. No, in contrary, because you're an infirm, you're not complete, you don't have the 3 Midas, it does not help the Malchus, your Torah. In contrary, your Torah is breaking down the Malchus. It's diminishing Chas v'Shalom the Malchus. Now we see these are 3 Midas. That's why we have these 3 type of languages about the numbers of the Bnei Yisrael, but we know already we're not talking about numbers because they were exactly the same number. We still didn't understand, explain the Lashon in the Pasuk here by Eschem, but now we're going to explain. I'm going to explain also, I told you, Hashem Eloikei Avoseichem, he was missing a Yud. Yosef was missing a Vav. And we always read this parsha before Tisha B'Av. Here there's a tremendous story. Vav, we know it's the Yesod. Yud is what we call Ateres HaYesod, where we take off the Olas. So it's the Bris Kodesh. And especially in this time in Bein HaMetzarim, that's where the downfall of the Bnei Yisrael happened. You see, let me explain you this in a simple language. Very simple. And because everyone has to understand it fully. I don't like to give leaders and I didn't pass you on the whole message. What does he represent? We all know that Yaakov Avinu fought the Malach, right? The Malach of Esau. And the Malach of Esau could not beat Yaakov Avinu. Vaye'ovkoi imoy. Says the Gemara, what it means by ye'ovko? The avak is dust. They dust each other? No, they fought. So why do you say by ye'ovku? Because they were mile avak all the way till the Kisei HaKavod. Avak is the Rashi Tevis, ois beris kodesh. The Satan thought that he could get Yaakov on this. But Yaakov was Kodesh. He was Kodesh Lashem. So there's nothing the Satan could come with the Kitrug. So even down in this world, the Yaakov beat him. what does it mean in a human language? When a person is driven by by me, what I like, I have to basically, I live once, so I have to surround myself by things that please me. The Ois Bris Kodesh comes and say, you have it wrong. In contrary, in this world of Choshech, try to diminish your own pleasing, whether it's food, whether it's drink, whether it's clothing. Never go extreme. You have the means for it. Yes, you're not going to pay them with credit card or whatever. Still do not go there, because once you go there, you are in the fields, in the territory of the Sitra Akra, and there's no coming back. And you start with the cloth, and you start, and you'll finish, Ois Bris Kodesh is gone. So the whole message that we have in Bein HaMetzarim, which is the tikkun of the Yesod, is basically limit. Have limits. So you don't take yourself and put yourself in the center of every discussion of the room or anything like this. You have to remember that HaKadosh Baruch Hu didn't allow to do whatever we want. And especially someone who understands me now, comprehends that HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants us to understand that the time of pleasing ourselves, because we have no concept what pleasure means. Now, in this world, we have a dictionary, but in the next world, this is where the real schar, the real reward, and the real. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu is testing us with some midas, and that's what we have to do. All the time, Kadesh atzmecha b'moisalav. How do you become Kadesh if you limit what's mutter to you? What do you mean it's mutter to you? You stay away as far as possible from the fields, from the property of the Sitra Akra. So every time you try to diminish, you don't have to eat like don't worry, nothing will happen to you. Yeah, I want to have that rib steak and everything. And the person eats like, it goes into shayres of brachas after that. Can you say, this is achila gasa, this is disgusting, this shulchan doesn't go before HaKadosh Baruch Hu, it's not the shulchan asher lifnei Hashem, this is the shulchan that's maliki v'soya that goes to the Sitra Akra, doesn't bring bracha. So what's the point? What's the point behaving like this? When we approach the shulchan, there has to be a certain behavior. No, it seems it's only the table. What's important, the American mentality is coming up. I just ate with the feet under the, No, that's not the way. We have to go back to who we are. We are Bnei Melachim. We are the children of our Aves Akdoshim that had a behavior, and we have to respect that behavior, especially in Bein HaMetzarim. Now I'm going to answer you the bracha of Moshe Rabbeinu. But this is what we have to learn from this in this parsha, that the I has to disappear. You want to access the Malchus, you want umimidbar nat matana nachala of kel, says the Zohar HaKadosh in Parshas Chukas. The Zohar HaKadosh says in Parshas Chukas that the Malchus HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives it b'matana to anyone that's miskadosh. Anyone who's trying to become Kadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu giving the Shekhin. Now, it's not you accessing it up there, it's become yours. Can you believe the huge? That's the matana that HaKadosh Baruch Hu does to a person. What do you have to do for this? Koichavim, choil, afar. That's all. Behave on the table. Don't become a behema gasa. Be a ben adam. Be a ben melech. Every time you approach a table, think, Like if Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov were sitting at the table, how you would behave. What kind of language would you speak on that table? That's the way to control, because the Satan, remember the Peleyoetz, B'Shem the Ravid, the Satan always come at the table, because now we go please ourselves. Oh, so everything is mutar. A person should use his mind in order to fight what the Satan puts in your mind. And what is it? Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov are sitting here. I have to behave. And look what the hugeness Moshe Rabbeinu wanted to give. And I'm finishing on this, the Bnei Yisrael. Huge. Already that he wanted to bring them the Bina, he wanted to bring them, but what we're gonna see, it's beyond the so much. Okay, so now I'm not gonna have any more problem. Hashem Elokeichem, he starts Moshe Rabbeinu's bracha with a language that we know very well. We know that Elohim is the dinim. In order to temper the dinim, we always have to put Yud K Vav K Elohim, which equals 112, which equals Yabak. I'm not going into this, what Yaakov did. This is just to temper the din. Moshe Rabbeinu say, and the dinim are always in the first three they went to in the first Elohim, put it that way. So if we take here by Eschem, equals 672 equals 6 times Hashem Elohim. You remember the inyan of the Shechita? Why in the Garon? What did Yaakov Avinu had to go to Haran? Haran 258, 3 times Elohim. Garon 3 times Elohim. We kosher the animal with Hashchita 3 times Hashem Elohim. Hashem Elohim is always the way to take away the dinim. Moshe Rabbeinu says one time, he put them in the 7 meters down there forever. He wanted to be mematik the dinim, so there's going to be no galus to the Bnei Yisrael ever. But they didn't accept his bracha. And they wanted the bracha of HaKadosh Baruch Hu and not the bracha. So I didn't explain the bracha of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, but this I'm going to do it B'ez Hashem on Shabbos if we have time. I put everything on Shabbos. We don't have that much time. In 3 hours share, we don't have much time. But let me show you something else. Why? So I answer this Kochibei Hashamayim, but this, and you'll understand the equals 453 equals exactly it's written in the Torah. HaKoil, Koil, the second one has a vav, Yaakov. With your Koil, the Bnei Yisrael, you can reach the stars. It doesn't take actions. It takes Koil. The dibur is much stronger than anything else. The fact that someone is davening to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he walks in the street, it's nothing to do, and he's davening to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu for something, this is huge. He looks like petty, you know, it looks like nothing. It's like unworthy. It is huge. Now, I told you I was going to give you what the Rabbeinu Shimshon brings in to remove the Ayin Hara. You know, when we come to shul, we say Va'ani berev chasdecha avoy beisecha eshtachave elechol kechecha. This pasuk, everyone who has Ayin Hara, by saying this pasuk, the Ayin Hara disappear. Heichal Kodshecha is the side. If I have time on Shabbos, you know, maybe I'll go into it. Or maybe I'll send it to you for preparation for Shabbos. So it's a huge pater there of the Shimshon Mostropoli. Should have Menuchas Gan Eden. He should daven for the Geula Shleima and be mashpia to all the Yidden, only Shefatoiv. And Bes Hashem, with his word that we said from him, he should have Aliyah. And because of this, he will be mashpia on us also, that we should understand more Torah and push away the darkness from us. And Bes Hashem will provide us only the oil from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and we could be us too. Baruch Adonai le'olam amen.